She's so wobbly.
Zhang Weili is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, good to be back in your life, everyone. Post pay-per-view episode 138 of Axe Cake Pigs, presented by the good people over at Viva Tequila Seltzer. A little more on them in just a little, but Joe, we have a new bantamweight champion, and his name is Merab Dvalishvili. How the fuck you doing, kid?
I'm hanging in there, surviving after staying up for that event. I'll be honest, it kind of dragged towards the end.
Oh, it was all those stories that they were telling in the chapters.
Stories, and then all the fights going to decision, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was lackluster, but it was just, overhyped. We're getting a lot of, even Sean come out and said it. He's like, I overpromised and underdelivered. And that's what I do feel like. I do feel like the event itself, though I was enjoying the spectacles, the videos, the montages, and most of the fights themselves, it just, I don't know. It just kind of dragged a little for me. And like I said, we said 3 a.m, the event finally ended.
And it was like 2:30 in the morning, bro, on the East Coast. And that was tough for us, bro.
It was. I was like in and out of consciousness.
Now imagine if there were 12, 13 fights that there usually are. There were only 10, bro.
Yeah, 25 in the beginning and 5 in the main card for the pay-per-view.
But overall, I agree. Little lackluster with the fights. I thought visuals amazing. They broke so many records last night. $22 million gate. It was the highest grossing UFC event of all time. Highest grossing Sphere event. Highest merchandise sales ever. So in every way, from a business aspect, I think it was a success. The visuals were amazing. I love the storytelling of Mexico and the people gaining their independence. But yeah, I would agree. It kind of dragged a little bit, especially if you weren't there. I mean, how many beers can I fucking have? How many Vivas can I have? There was only so much. But yeah, a lot of decisions, and we'll talk about that in a little. We had Canelo. He won as well. Another decision. Bellator was good. Leah McCourt, I mean, she was too high. Yeah. Bad read by us.
A couple hype getting crushed over the weekend, man.
Yeah, very true. So we'll talk about that. BKFC. We go 5 weeks in a row. Okay, continue.
There's a bright side. There's always a silver lining, and even with the main event, though we both, you had to change your heart going. I was surprised you changed,
and I fucked up.
But here, the fact that we both lost the Sean bet. The silver lining is we both do have our future tickets live right now. We have Merab as the end of 2024 bantamweight champion. Both of us did that at the beginning of the year. So unfortunately, though we faded that, we kind of hedged ourselves. So we do have that ticket live until if they decide to fight for, I don't think, Merab would defend the title. If he would, it would probably be December, but that's a quick turnaround. I don't think we're going to see a bantamweight title defense until next year.
Yeah. So I'll talk about it real quick. Merab, dominant win over Sean O'Malley. You knew if he would take it to decision, it was going to be, honestly, real quick before the fight, surprised at the scorecards. 49-46 I thought was reasonable because even I was generous. I gave him a round. I think maybe
I don't see that.
3.
I really saw 50-45.
Yeah, and I think that's a valid argument because the boys I was watching it, they were like, dude, this is a 50-45 fight. And I was like, I could see that. I was just being generous because I had ticket on Sean and I did lose because the whole week I was Merab. And then I come to the show and I say, I changed my heart. And you know what they say, always go with your instinct and your gut. And it winded up fucking me. I was surprised that 2 of the judges scored it. You never know with these judges in the UFC, but 48-47 times 2 is ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it didn't make sense. And like you said, I barely saw that round. If you wanted to be one of the judges or any of the judges, could have given that one to Sean, but I don't know which one. And I don't know who placed the round for him to get that win and champion before beginning. It just it was just a bad fight, for him. Merab played a perfect fight, to be honest, what he needed to do, and once I saw him secure that first takedown and get him to the ground rather easily. I was just going to say this is a long night for Sean and also for Tim Welch. We met the guys, we met Merab, we met all these guys when they came over to New Jersey, and all class acts, but man, it just seemed that not only did Merab kind of break Sean a little, it seems that he broke the corner as well.
100%. It was so weird. Like first 5 minutes, and he's out there pointing. He says, "Don't worry about it," and then he gave him another warning First of
Herb
all,
didn't
what,
need to step in that much.
yeah,
I
Herb
just
Dean,
don't
he,
think he
he
needed to.
he was the problem in the fight. Always kept telling him to work. My guy's up 4-0, and you're telling him to work. God forbid he wants to circle the fucking cage.
Had a ticket on Sean.
Do it. Yeah, and my thing also is are we not giving effective grappling or ground control its respect? He is on the floor working, punching, maybe not always working for a submission, but he is dominating this fight. What do you mean telling these boys to work?
Yeah, no, I mean, he was absolutely in dominant positions, and actually can't take away from there. If they're standing and stalling, like we saw in one a little whiles back with Arjun Bular, they brought out the yellow and red card towards him and disqualified him for stalling. And I think that maybe they can introduce that again. The yellow card as a warning start. We even had that in wrestling. We had stalling in wrestling. So I don't see why we can't, introduce that into the sport, especially when we're going to be introducing grounded strikes now, because these guys that want to wrestle and dive in for takedowns are not going to have to worry about another aspect, knees to the head, grounded strikes that they didn't have before. So I think maybe they saw a little bit of the writing on the wall. Maybe Dana White saw how good the level of wrestling and grappling is getting, and we wanted to even the playing field, because right now it's looking like wrestling's rearing its ugly head and taking over yet again.
It's unfortunate, though, because me and you, I think, are proponents of effective grappling, and I think it deserves its shine. A lot of people, I would argue, casuals,
but it does make
for
a boring fight.
It does.
It does.
But that's the sport.
Yeah, respect the science and the art behind grappling, because that shit is not easy to hold another person down with all.
He has to get up.
Yeah, absolutely.
We understand, but I would say going to watch a fight with a casual, go watch boxing, because that's what you want. You don't want
to see
mixed
hands
getting
thrown. Yeah, or kickboxing even, because that's high level now too. So.
Am I insane for thinking that Dean Herb was bugging? Like,
no, I think you have a similar sentiment with most of the community. I think everyone was complaining that Herb Dean made himself too involved in the matchup, and it's unfortunate when you see that. When you see it in even major sports, when the refs kind of make it about them, it robs the athletes of their spotlight.
You mentioned it early though. When he got that first takedown, I think about 2.5 minutes in, he kind of was settling in. My problem was, wow, he got in very easily. That was it. You nailed it on the head. I looked over to my friend Mark and I said, that was too easy. This is going to be a long night every time. And yet Sean got up a few times, but his hands were down so much. He would only be able to throw the 1-2. He couldn't throw multiple combinations together or kicks, exactly, because his hands were always down, frightening for that takedown.
Yeah. Merab took him out of his game. And then, it's not that Sean O'Malley's broken entirely as a fighter, but man, was he just, he just saw it. He was disappointed with his performance and where the fight was heading. And it just seemed that he had no answer for Merab. So you could just see that he was out of it in the 5th round. And then we had a lot of controversy with what Tim said to Sean in that 5th round, in the corner. He was like, we're almost out of this thing. And that's just disappointing, because we know Tim to be a very good motivator and to know Sean very well. But like I said, I just think that
it was also confusing. Let me jump in. It was also confusing because I think round 4, he said, don't worry, champ. We got the legs for this. Like, we understand a 3-round, 15-minute fight with Petr Yan is much different than a 5-rounder with Merab. And he said it after the fight, I could go another 5 rounds, and it looked like it.
I believe it. That's what we said. We're going to get the same Merab as we got in the 1st round as we would in the 5th. And that's exactly right. I mean, the man wasn't even breathing at all. Joe Rogan pointed out to that. I think majority of the crowd were seeing that, that's the thing. This dude's gas tank is probably the best we've ever seen. Like, honestly, I know it's hard to compare in terms of sizes, but the gas tank that Cain Velasquez possessed, talking about, Mexican heritage fighters and Noche UFC, he was one of the guys that had the best gas tanks, especially at that big of a size of all time, man. Prime BJ Penn. I mean, you name it. Some of these guys just have these gas tanks to go. And right now, currently, another guy, Max Holloway, which we're going to get in Abu Dhabi. So, I mean, all is leading up to a very special month of October, a doubleheader October, bro.
What do you think went wrong with Sean? Because there's so many ways we could go with this fight. And I really wanted to dive in with you because I felt like I wasn't the only one who saw – he looked defeated after even the 3rd round. Sean looked gassed.
I think even after the 2nd, bro. Like, I would even go like after that 1st round and knowing how hard he had to work going into the 2nd. And after that, same thing happened. It's like, damn. And he took some punishment on the ground below.
Yeah.
it just started to, accumulating third, fourth, fifth round, man. He's just beat up, gassed, and it looks over. And this dude's on his feet, like kind of like looking, laughing. It's like, it's intimidating, And I just think that knee call was a little late calling it in the championship.
Yeah, it was
Probably,
illegal.
no, the Tim Welch calling for the knee, I think he did it a little late. I thought that
Oh,
he was done
100%.
early,
Yes.
and maybe some flying ones at that. I think a little more, I don't know, just up the middle shots with the feet and not being afraid to be taken down. I think that's what it was. It was just being too much in Sean's head about worrying about the takedown. And he had the ability to get up, use the cage, crawl to the cage, do other things. He has good BJJ. It had no threat of submission whatsoever. I think that could have maybe put a dent in some of Merab's takedown ability, because we see Sean compete in grappling and have that, but he has yet to really show it in mixed martial arts in the grandest stage of them all. So, man, I think it's just he was in his head, he was defeated, and he was also gassed, as you said.
100%. And I agree. I think you hit it perfect, because I even thought that real time. I said, why are you waiting now to throw to throw the knee, to throw the punch, and then the knee when he's trying to take you down? I thought it was too late in the fight at that
point.
At
this point, risk an illegal grounded knee.
Yeah.
If you're going to dive in for it, just fucking shoot a knee up, At this point, so be it.
Yeah, so that was insane. Also, it was really weird for me, and he saw success early on with those with those teep kicks. It kind of hurt Merab. And like you said, throw those front kicks. Throw them early. You need to do that, because Merab did not like that.
Merab said that his stomach hurt, and that's why I got him. But so that was in there, and the good thing of the camp covering it up and not showing any, signs of, issues whatsoever. Merab fought a perfect fight, man. To Merab's credit, he did a really good job. That camp, man, we always said, shout out Strong Island and Sarah Longo.
Hear him? He goes, Ray Longo goes, how do you feel, Merab? You felt his power? And Merab's like, it's easy. Then go in that motherfucker. I love Ray. He's
the absolute legend that he is, man. It's just breeding champions. This is a big upset. Another one
champion out of his gym.
Yeah, and also another upset. All of them have been dogs. All of them have been upsets throughout history. You got to say he's one of the greatest camps of all time. Ray Longo's got to be one of the greatest coaches that
he's going into the Hall of Fame.
He has ever been blessed with. Yeah, hands down Hall of Famer. First ballot if they have that. But just the effect that he's had on fighters and the next generation, and just the way he goes about things. And we joked about it. Imagine learning English. Your English coaches are both Ray Longo and Matt Serra. Merab's a character. So you know what? Hopefully he becomes entertaining.
Yeah. I think he is good with like the social media, and he's getting
good
better.
With social media, and I think he would be fun on the mic and stuff. And he's proven it when he comes out to fight, man. That gas tank is a weapon in itself, and I would like to see him maybe put some more power behind the shots with his takedown ability. I think you could see him close the distance a lot more effective, maybe get some knockouts of his own, and maybe throw some better ground and pound on the ground. I want to see some finishes come from him, especially if he's going to be a successful defending champ.
And I think the language barrier as well. Like, yes, it's the most. I understand, like, post-fight, him trying to articulate what he wants to say with Dana and everything. He might not be the best, but at least he's trying. He's from Georgia, second Georgian champion now. Obviously, Ilya Topuria at featherweight, and now we got the bantamweight. So I love it. What's next? And because we could go a lot for Merab, and what's next? Probably gonna be Umar. My question, how do you build Sean back up now? How the level to get back to where he was, the face of the UFC?
It's such a bad loss.
Yes, because it wasn't a close loss. You lost pretty dominantly.
You lost pretty dominantly, I saw Merab calling that, as a matter of fact, it shouldn't be Umar. It should be Figueiredo who gets the title shot. That Merab.
I love it.
I actually love that fight. Yeah. And then Sean O'Malley. Obviously, I don't think that Umar would have to fight him. Maybe if Peter Yan doesn't have a fight, I did see something like that. Have Sean O'Malley rematch Peter Yan to see. He called that out as well. I see that as a possibility to get another treat for a stand-up fight. But Peter Yan, man, after seeing that, I think a lot of the wrestlers here are kind of chomping at the bits to get to Sean O'Malley and enable their game, and take him down and just wear him out. So see that being on the table for a lot of them. But Sean could fight Umar if they want to give Umar another fight and
But
maybe
that would
have
be
Marab wait.
awful because you think
Yeah.
Marab was a bad stylistic
Oh, Umar's
matchup?
going to be even worse. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what
So
are we
Figgy
thinking?
could also wind up fighting Shaw. There's like a little trifecta going there in the top 5 that any match could be made. But I think
I low-key like that fight with Figgy and Sean because
Yeah.
Figgy, yes, he's good on the ground, but he could trade and bang with you.
I think that's the thing. I think the reach is going to be significant, but I do think he saw it as well. He has some really good grappling, and I think the X factor with him compared to Marab and Umar, though their wrestling may be better. You said it. You called it. Respect to you. Figgy's got that killer instinct, bro. I think he can find a way to submit any of them.
Now 3-0 at the new weight class, fighting tough guys, and yeah, I love it. I want Figgy to be next, but I think the way they want to build Umar is he was there. You know, Joe Rogan said Umar's probably next, and they put the camera towards him. You know where we've watched the UFC long enough where we kind of know the direction they want to go.
Yeah, Figgy's getting one more fight before the title.
Yeah, and whether that's Sean or not, I am very interested to see. But yeah, got to build Sean back up. He already started making videos and working on the crowd. I like
Your
that.
website's not updated.
Yeah.
Sean is still the champ on the website.
I love it. How
they are not getting up early today. They are sleeping in.
Yeah. Question now: is Sean gonna keep doing the O?
Oh, it's done now. You can't. He's got to figure out a new shtick. He's got to figure out something else. Yeah.
But I want to credit Merab Dvalishvili. I mean, what a guy! New York guy.
Yeah.
Coming from Georgia, he loves life. He loves his team. You could see he says thank you to everyone. He's just an all-around really good guy. And I think you and I coming from the Northeast and being that type of person, blue collar, hardworking, loves the family, loves one another. It's so refreshing to see that. And in a small gym, not like AT&T where there's thousands of fighters
all over the world. Yeah, no, they're really centralized to their region. And that's just shows the pool that we have in the Northeast within New Jersey, New York, and you know, you got the New England Cartel up there. I would even consider them Northeast.
Yeah, I do like them too.
They pull their talent more from New England. But yeah, I think you could even get some of them that don't go to that camp. They wind up going to Serra-Longo.
100%. Shit, I would too, if I'm being honest. If you're over there on Strong Island, go visit the boys. Best gym in the area. But let's go to the trilogy. I think it has to be over, kid. Another, I would argue, dominant performance by Valentina. I mean,
wrestling.
Yes, wrestling. Again, another wrestler just took, and it looked like Alexa was so frustrated. Going back to the corner every time. She looked so frustrated that she couldn't get up. She had some moments where she reversed her, but it always looked like Valentina was in control every round.
Every round, yeah. And that's what it could be. It's just that wrestling, that smothering style is just so frustrating for the guys. It's just all with Alexa. It's the same that you saw with Sean. It's just they were in their head so much just thinking, and it gives you so much to think about when you mix in the leg kicks to the takedowns to the head strikes. If you're not just head hunting, you're throwing body strikes, you know. It's just so much to think about, and I just think it flusters you, and that's what you got in both the main and co-main event for the defending champs. Both defending champs. We have both and new. Man, I do think it's over. I saw people were maybe saying, hey, Alexa can get it back, but I think all this time we thought that maybe Alexa had become the champion through all this, but it proved that maybe she never was at all to begin with. That you said it, that really Bullet should be 2-0 against her, and now it proves that she very well is 3-0. So I think you move on from it. I think there's a lot of other women clamoring in the division and have earned their spot. You know, right now they mentioned Benefiero as going to be the next one. So I see that being the best matchup they can make for 125, and then Alexa Grasso getting dropped down helps a lot of the other fighters so that they
100%.
make more matches. So I think that it actually helped the division finally, you know, establishing who is the champ. And Valentina Shevchenko, man, 12 straight title fights, just the absolute Hall of Famer. And to get this belt back, I think it meant a lot for her career. 37 years of age doing this all over again. Absolute legend.
It's special in a place where, you know, she had reservations. She said, listen, I'm going to hostile territory. A Mexican Independence Day against a girl that I'm 1-1 against. You know, we could argue that the second fight did go Valentina, but it was a draw. So, you know, she didn't really want to fight, and there were rumblings, but she came out, she over-delivered, and I thought it was amazing. At her age, coming on top with all the experience, she was so happy. It was like a lift that was lifted off of her.
I was watching with people and I said, yo, get ready. She's about to speak 4 languages. And the post-fight interview, bro, she's like English, Spanish. This is Kyrgyzstan speaking, Kurt, but then, she started speaking like Was it like Mandarin at the end?
It was
there?
like, yeah, I think it was a little Mandarin. You know why? Because I want her, and we could spin it forward. And I'm so glad you brought that up because her versus Weili Zhang.
I love that fight.
Valentina doesn't need to fight any more people.
You're right, dude. As a matter of fact, Manafiro can get pumped on the brakes, dog. We can see a champ versus champ.
What about an interim belt?
I think, we can have, there you go, man. And then put a belt to raise the stock of any of those fighters at 125. I love where your head's at, man. I'm glad you thought about that because I wasn't thinking that at all. But, dude, let's have a super fight. Let's build these women divisions up even more. Have Weili Zhang fight Valentina Shevchenko. Let's go for it.
And, Joe, that was the first thing I thought. I said, why should Manafiro fight Valentina? She has nothing to prove. She's a legend. She's a Hall of Famer already.
She had her chances to go up and fight for, the 135 and yet again, arguably beat Amanda Nunes twice, right?
And this is the perfect opportunity for her.
She's going to stay at 125 though. Weili Zhang's going to have to go to her division.
Yeah, she's not going to go down to 125 anymore, which she shouldn't have to.
115.
Or 115, excuse me. So I think Weili Zhang's gonna have to move up, and I love that fight because that strawweight class is on the hiatus.
Don't you think Weili Zhang at 125? She'll come in like a freaking fire hydrant, dog.
She's already coming as a brick fucking fire hose right now. Imagine going up 10 pounds. So you don't know what's happening with Tatiana Suarez. She already beat her fellow Chinese fighter.
Question marks at 115, 100%.
So. Why not?
Question marks at 115, and then does anyone at 125 deserve it? You're right.
Put interim title fight
for 125
Fiore and Macy Barber.
I like it. And then we get a title, defense from Valentina. Bro, if Weili Zhang becomes double champ, wow.
Hall of Famer. Yeah, a lot of things I wanted to spin forward. But yeah, good reign from Alexa Grasso. I didn't think she fought her best. I don't think she fought smart either. And like I said, I think you mentioned it earlier, Mexican fighters did not look good. 2-6 on the night. It was not
the dancing though.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I love the Octagon girls. Amazing fits. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. Oh, the get-ups were outstanding. All the ancient like Aztec ones to the the very floral patterns. Like man, I think that they outside of everything, they did a really good job. The production was worth it.
Diego Rodriguez and Alexander Volkanovski, just book it, please. Title eliminator.
Diego Lopez.
That's what I say.
I think you hit Ronaldo Rodriguez. That's all you did. You just
my fault. That's the next
Diego Lopez, bro. Man, I thought he was going to put Brian out quick after he landed that 1-2 in the first round and just boop, boop. And then it just dragged on after that. It really was like, I thought I was going to see a Diego Lopez finish. It seemed that he gassed a little bit. So that gives me a little bit of worry towards if he were to get a title fight right now. He definitely needs to work on that because he throws everything into his shots. And that's why you get these crazy knockouts. And he seems to have a vicious squeeze, but it just seems that he empties out a little bit and it could, affect him if he's going to fight, like you said, Alexander Volkanovski, who can pace himself for 5 rounds and throw, technical strikes and be one step ahead on the feet. So, yeah, Diego Lopez is definitely going to have to work on, I think, strength and conditioning. He looked great coming into this match. I thought physically, aesthetically wise, I thought he was going to be in one of the best shape of his life. And maybe that just goes to speak of the dog that Brian Ortega is, because it just seems time and time again, when you count him out, he proves you wrong. And yeah, he lost the fight, but after taking that 1-2, as I mentioned to start this rant, he is a dog, and he just always comes to fight. You can never count out T-City.
Never. No, never. He showed grit, determination. I thought second round was much better for T-City as well. It kind of settled in after getting, because I agree. First minute, I was like, oh no, he's going to get knocked out. And I think also that's how he usually starts the fight. He did it last fight as well with Dan Ige on short notice.
It's like he needs that to kind of realize he's actually in a fist fight. And he's like, all right.
He's like, all right, I need to get hit a few times. All right, now we're in a fight. And he ran right up to Dana. Who's next? Send him my way. That's 6 fights in a row at the UFC. And he's passed every test. I mean, he's 1 fight away. And I know he called for the title fight. I just think he's 1 fight away, because Volkanovski is sitting there. You have to respect. He was one of the best featherweights of all time. So you have to respect that.
We could make that fight again, like we like you said, the Volkanovski fight again for a title, but we could make these guys fight probably. I think Diego Lopez, being his age and I know he had a lot going on to get this fight back, but I don't know. I feel like we could maybe see them at the end of the year. Maybe we see them in the
Really?
summer card. I don't know. I feel like there's more of a chance for 145 than the bantamweights. I feel like after a hard 5-round fight like that, I worry that there's not going to be a 135-pound defense. But maybe we get one to 145. Like I said, maybe not the title, but maybe we get Diego Lopez fighting again with maybe Volkanovski by December.
It would be amazing. What's next for T City now? Because he's gonna move up. He has gonna go up to lightweight. He already hinted at it. He just wanted to get this fight back. He owed it, I think, to not just himself, but to Diego Lopez as well. He came through. He made weight. He fought a really good fight. But now it's time to move up, right? Go to lightweight. What fights do you want him to go right into the top 15? How do you feel? Because I think he's talented enough, and I think he has a big name already. You could give him a Patty. You could give him an RDA or Jalen Turner. Like, I think those are good matchups for him.
I just think that, man, he didn't look all too like in the greatest shape at 145. And in fact, if he goes up to 155, I just worry that he's not going to have to like cut all that weight or have to worry about like the strength and conditioning aspect of it. I'd feel like, if he does make the move to go to 155, he could definitely like add more muscle and just fill out a little bit more, not be as soft. I'm not going to say that he's soft in any stretch like in that regards, but just like physically, I feel like he could definitely like pack on some muscle and just become maybe a little strong. Brian Ortega's, technical ability is like second to none, especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I just think that, if he does to stay at 145, he could definitely get into better shape. And then if he goes to 155, he could pack on some muscle. So, the toughness is there, the durability, and it seems like he still always has a good gas tank because he's always in the fight, even in a later round. So, yeah, I just think that he could just get a little bit stronger and maybe just a little more shape. I feel like, I don't know, maybe he's just battling injuries. Maybe there's stuff that he doesn't come out and say. He's always been good at hiding maybe little issues that he's had. So, I wish Brian Ortega the best because I know he'll be back. He's done a lot for the UFC and he still has a lot left. So it's up to him what he wants to do. If he wants to move up, I say he has all the opportunity in the world to kind of sit back and get in shape for 155. Or if he stays where he's at, he could do the same and, be in a lot better shape for his next fight.
Daniel Zellhuber and
Bust your parlay.
Esteban Ribovic. You busted my parlay, but everyone take a stand. I mean, take a bow. What a fucking fight. If that didn't get fight of the night, I would have lost my mind. Now, I had Daniel Zellhuber. I thought he did enough. I mean, I'm not surprised they gave it to Esteban, to be honest. I thought he kind of pulled away in the third. But it was 1-1 going into that fight. But, man, Esteban really put it on him in that third round. Ooh. And the guy didn't fall. What a chin.
Bro, the movement, the head movement, everything. I was like, oh, I saw this before. I'm like, dude, he's going to miss all Ribovic shots because Ribovic's going to gas after throwing like his last one. And then boom, another like Zellhuber overhand or something. I thought that was coming. But yeah, I mean, he was out of it. He was moving while he was completely rocked and just clearing the cobwebs and he wouldn't clear out. So Zellhuber's a dog, man. I like the kid a lot. I did take Ribovic, so the dog price and the value on him hit, and that felt good on the course of the evening. But man, that was a tremendous fight. Definitely fight of the night, right? Both fighters got the bonus for that one. They deserved it there. But I was questionable about the Ribovic's victory over T-Rex. We talked about it last episode. I just think the kid's really talented. Zellhuber's very young, and so I just thought we're at this place in time. Ribovic does have a little edge, but Zellhuber, he has a future, and I think highly of the kid. So he'll be back for sure.
Both though,
yeah. And I think, both of them have a bright future. And that was a great fight to showcase their skills.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think anybody, like, I know Daniel Zellhuber, obviously unfortunate, Mexican, lost, but he should not hold his head down. I mean, both stocks, I think, rise, especially Esteban, big win in that lightweight division. Is he ready for a top 15? Because we were just mentioning top 15 for a lightweight. I think he's still one away. I think he's good, and I think the potential is there. They're just young, like you were mentioning.
Yeah, man. 155. I mean, we're going to talk about another 155 fight in the prelims. Why don't maybe we see winners fight winners and losers fight losers. Maybe we
My
see
boy,
Manuel Torres.
Bahamondes.
Yeah, have Ribovic fight Bahamondes and Zellhuber fight Manuel Torres.
I love that. You call Nick Maynard or Sean Shelby. Just call him up.
We'll talk to him on the street.
Exactly. Exactly. Just running into him in Newark, legendary. What are your thoughts on the home opener or the main card opener?
Yeah.
Because for all the talk that they did, it kind of was a lackluster fight, I thought.
Well,
Ronaldo Lopez
was
won.
entertaining. Odie Osborne was throwing up a lot of threats, the triangles. He was in deep. So I found those exchanges to be exciting, a lot of scrambling. But yeah, on the feet, it was just a lot of hit and miss. It was a lot more miss than hit. So both guys very fast. Odie Osborne at first, I thought, had the speed advantage. It was very evident. But Ronaldo Rodriguez, as it got later in the fight, with those awkward leg kicks, it started adding up. And I think limited the mobility of Odie Osborne. So I thought it was a good fight. I think, the first two fights to start the main card kind of got me into it. The fact that they went the distance was like, oh, okay, maybe we get a finish. We need a finish. And then every other fight went to decision as well. It just was a long night. But, like I said, I thought we're on a different pace and a different track when we started, and it just continued that way.
Big Norm, baby.
Big Norm!
What did I say? She dominated. That cut she made on Irene Aldana was just insane.
That boxing was so slick. Like, people were just complaining, like, oh, she's just jabbing, get out of the way. Dude, you got to hit her. You got to get in there. You got to hit her. The fact that she was able to play that game, I think Norma Dumont has improved a lot. Big Norm driving a dump truck.
Dump truck for real. I mean, and I heard that too. I was reading on Reddit. Oh, she was boring. She put on a masterclass.
Bro, she was not being touched in there, dude. And
At
look,
all.
the jab. Yeah, the head clash opened up the cut. But the jab is what made that cut on Irene Aldana one of the worst of all time, because that was so deep. You could literally see her skull from the cut. So that was fucking brutal. Rough to see, but that just speaks to how much punishment that forehead was taking from the jab of Norma Dumont. Fast, effective, and thick as hell.
Yeah, exactly. Can't forget that. My question now, though, in that, Rocky was in the building with her wife, Tisha Pennington. Who's next? Because we all know they're going to fight in Salt Lake City with Juliana Pena.
Yeah. Maybe she's
Kayla Harrison has a fight against Caitlin Vieira. What about now? Norma Dumont takes that number 5 ranking of Irene Aldana. You like Macy? What's her last name? Macy
Chiasson.
Chiasson, yeah.
If she doesn't have a matchup, yeah, that could happen. I'll be honest, Norma Dumont's surging right now. I think she's a bad matchup for a lot of 135ers, to be honest. I think she's very quick.
Yeah.
I think she has jiu-jitsu in her back pocket. Her striking has come a long way. The speed kills, man. If she keeps displaying this type of speed and she just compiles the wins, I think maybe not next fight. She might need 2 more just based off where the division's at and what they might do next. But maybe I could see her getting to a title fight after 1 more fight, especially if she, gets another top fight opponent. So yeah. Macy Chiasson's on the table. I don't know.
She shouldn't be fighting back, though. That's
no. Does Caitlin Vieira have a matchup?
Yeah, maybe? Against Kayla Harrison.
Caitlin Vieira and Kayla Harrison. So yeah, I mean, Chiasson's on the table. We have Raquel Pennington taking on Juliana Pena, right?
Correct.
So
and then on that same card, Kayla's fighting as well.
Yeah, so that's probably what's going to have to happen, because the winner of Caitlin Vieira and Kayla Harrison are going to have the next opportunity, and then you're going to have Norma Dumont take on Macy Chiasson. I think whoever wins of that may have to fight the loser of the title fight. So if Rocky wins, it'll be Juliana Pena, but if Juliana Pena wins, she'll have to fight Rocky.
But 100%, I agree. Norma Dumont is rising in that division now, and she's a bad matchup for a lot of women. But overall, kid, I thought, good hit on my guy Bahamondes.
Snake like, bro, like kind of like remnants of like a lighter Alex Pereira, just be able to get out of the way and just boom, throw that pipe right down, throw that straight right down the pipe.
Was insane.
Vicious, bro. I saw that. I was worried about that fight. It's the only one I got wrong in, terms of me making a parlay for the men, if I was going to do so. I thought Manuel Torres could just bring it to him, close the distance, because he does have that closing distance ability. If you saw it, he closed the distance really quick on Bahamondes, but as soon as Bahamondes got the timing, step back, boom, knocked him out in the first round. So Bahamondes, man, a lot of potential in this kid. And like I said, Manuel Torres, I like him a lot. He will certainly be back.
100%. Overall, amazing card. Raul Rojas Jr. Amazing on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Chewy.
It's amazing. I mean, at 19-year-old, what this kid was able to do, and I like him. I know he didn't get the finish, and I lost, but
He was ready to scrap. I like
ready to scrap,
yeah,
and the guy was a
in the
challenge for him. And now that he's going 15 minutes, multiple, I like that. I think
Yeah.
it's going to benefit him in the long run.
Bro, honestly, I gotta say, he's a dark horse.
100%. And he
Yeah.
said it. He said, "Hey, Dana, I'm ready for top 15." So we'll see. But overall, really good card. I love
Yeah.
the visuals. It was a success business wise. 4-3 on the night. And I really wanted. I'm not mad, Sean. I'm not mad. Marab won. If I'm being
No, you had him, man. You were
Yeah.
gonna go pick him, and I was surprised when you faded him in the last minute. But both of our future tickets are still live.
100%. So overall, really good.
I went 6-3.
Yeah, 6-3. Perfect. Hey, so profitable night for both of the boys. Canelo, big win. A little before the main event started. Knocked him down in the third round. He winded up giving Edgar his first loss, 22-1 now for Edgar. But what's next for Canelo, man?
Man, I don't know. You know, I got both my picks wrong. I thought that Edward would, return the favor and knock down Canelo as well. So I thought that both fighters would be knocked down and it would be a ticket hit. And then Saul Canelo Alvarez, I thought after being knocked out would find a way to win. But man, he was just so dominant in that one. They could do anything they want, man. I'll be honest with you with Canelo. He goes on to say that he's the best fighter in the world. And I mean, it's arguable. Granted, he has those losses on his record, but the losses are to who? The greatest of all time and Floyd Mayweather, and then a guy who's just way bigger than him in Bivol, who we could see absolutely outclass Biederbev. We don't know how skillful Biederbev. All we know is that he gets knockouts in every fight he gets. So, yeah, I think anything they could do with Canelo is what they will do. I think if they want him to move up in a weight class, which will maybe not happen, they could do, but get more champions to fight him, defend where he's at. Bud Crawford was at the UFC event. They said he was Kendrick Lamar, so a little mess up on the. They saw that, right?
Yeah.
But Bud Crawford fight is like, it's there. I mean, it's possible that they get together, but not just yet. I feel like they're gonna be on different trajectories until they actually meet, which now would be a better time because Canelo's getting later in his career. Bud is as well. Let's not have them fight in the twilight. Let's have them fight right now in their prime. So I'd want to see it. I think that would determine if either one of them are higher on the pound for pound list. So yeah, anything they want to do with Canelo, they can.
Yeah, I didn't say the scores. 117-110 and then 118-109 times 2. I scored at 117-110, but regardless, Canelo cruised after that third round. I thought he said, quote, "I did good. Now what are they going to say? I fought all the fighters. Now what are they going to say? They always talk, but I'm the best fighter in the world." But he is kind of ducking the boogeyman and David Benavidez and obviously Terence Crawford. I think that fight's there as well.
You're right. Honestly, the Benavidez fight might be the most likely to happen next, especially with him being.
That's what I want.
I want that too. Yeah. Glad you mentioned him. I was just thinking, the faces that they've shown, you know what? We could run a David Benavidez fight. That's the fight that needs to happen, as a matter of fact.
I'm out here just throwing these fights together. Boys, call up the line. We'll work something out. But yeah, shout out him. I'm interested to see in the coming days what the numbers did compared to Noche UFC.
I think the gate might have sold out. I just don't think it would be anything near what they got at Noche UFC, and including pay-per-views. I think there's something to what Turki Al-Sheikh said. I think if we lower the price of the pay-per-view, they'll actually wind up making more money.
100%.
Pirating and everything is getting out of hand because of how exorbitant the prices were. To be a UFC fan right now, if you're paying $80 you are looking over $1,000 in pay-per-view prices plus your annual fee to have access to the pay-per-view. So it is very expensive to be a UFC fan. I think if they drop the price, I think they'd have more people actually watch the events and they'd wind up making more money. So Turki Al-Sheikh, he's on the money. Without him, we wouldn't be getting these boxing matches as we're getting, and we wouldn't have had Riyadh Season Presents Noche UFC.
Bellator London, man, Liam McCourt, first round submission. What the fuck was that? I mean, I went back and watched it, kid. That was not
fraud alert. We had a lot of hype jobs get derailed, over the course of the weekend, and Liam McCourt was no exception, man.
This girl wanted a fight with Cyborg.
She would have got murdered, bro. I hate to say that, but there's levels to this game, and in any way Cyborg wanted to win, she would have gotten it with Liam McCourt. Because if you let Sarah Collins, who's undersized, get you back and rear naked choke you,
Sad.
you were not going to be ready for Cyborg. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out Sarah Collins for saying an undefeated fighter. You know, we had that little X factor, like I did the MMA Math episode. It came true. It's not often that it does, but it definitely came true in this one. And shout out Sarah Collins for defying odds. It seems that all of our, main eventers pretty much defy the odds this weekend.
100%. You also had Luke Trainer. He got the first round submission as well.
Yeah.
Simon Powell in the co-main event. He got the split decision, close
Your
fight.
boy, Mark Casey.
Unanimous decision against my boy Tim as well. So 1-1 on Bellator. Overall on the weekend, 500, 5-5. I went 0-1 in boxing because I took Canelo via knockout.
I matched, although I went 0-2 in boxing, went a little cold there. My MMA was good. I also went 6-3 in Bellator. So 6-3 in the UFC, 6-3 in the Bellator, 0-2 for boxing. That record is 12-8. So not too bad. If you strict to just MMA, it would be 12-6. So
yeah, not bad at all, kid. Hey, that's what we got to do. And we are going to go right into Dana White Contender Series Week 6 and try to keep up that record. By the way, 10 seconds left. You won, right?
Yeah, yes. Actually, it was BKFC. I hit. It was.
What did I say?
I thought you said 1, but nevertheless,
my fault.
BKFC 66 was in Hollywood, Florida. And, we all like Ryan Weber. He was a tough dude coming into bare knuckle, undefeated, but you run into a Cuban missile like Alberto Blas, and you get put out in 30 seconds. We had another 13-second knockout, I think, earlier in the fight, earlier in the card you mentioned. But Alberto Blas is a defending champ, a bantamweight defending champ. That is something to be taken serious, because if you look at throughout his career, he has lost in mixed martial arts, but he has finished every opponent he's come across via knockout, whether it's mixed martial arts or now in bare knuckle boxing. So Alberto Blas, he's the future, and I was confident in taking him. And that makes it, like you said, 5 weeks in a row. We're a month and a week into 10 seconds left, and we are on a roll. And I'm hoping to continue it for next episode.
Now, I'm tongue in cheek when I say this, but I'm also a little serious. Where's Mike Perry ever since his loss? Like you thought I was kidding when I said he might be fired, but have you seen him? Have you seen him make an appearance?
Yes, even inside. Yeah, dude.
Nothing. He's done. I say that with all love because I love Mike Perry. I love making money on
Mike Perry's end. He just made a lot of money.
Yeah, he made a lot of money, but he might have lost.
He might be chilling somewhere.
He might be chilling. Yes, exactly. But before we get to Dana White Contender Series Week 6 plays, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys, or a new flavor, coconut, watching Dana White Contender Series, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Week 6, we are above 500. I think 13-10 right now. Main event is in the lightweight division, headlined by a kid named Dylan. No big deal. But what are we gonna do, kid? What do you got?
Yeah, man, we'll start it up. I'm touching every fight this one time around, and we'll start in the middleweight division. Yura Naito is -180, Japanese sensation, taking on Ateba Gautier at +160. And, I've made a lot of money fading the Japanese athletes. And, I do think a lot of Naito. I think he's got a good judo background, and he's found some success still being and sporting an undefeated record. But Gautier, he's a knockout artist. And like I said, I've made funny fading the Japanese guys. I'm going to do the same here. I like the plus value you're getting at Gautier. Like I said, the knockout could happen quick, but at +160, I like the value you're getting on the money line for the silent assassin. Give me Ateba Gautier in the middleweight division. So we move to the heavyweights, and Tyson Teixeira -550. I wonder if he's related to Glover at all. If he is, he's an absolute lock, and that's who I have. I do have the favorite taking on Arthur Lopez at +400. I think he's going to be the slower guy. I've seen Teixeira's fights in the past. He is very quick for the heavyweights, very long and powerful. So I think he's going to win inside the distance, but just taking him, on the money line because I see no other odds posted. So we're moving to the featured bout. welterweight division. Benjamin Bennett is plus 100. He's even against, listen to this nickname, Joey the Hitman Hart. I gotta love it. It's such a perfect nickname for a dude's last name ending in Hart. Minus 115, worth the play. I'm going to take the Hitman in this spot. I think he's a more explosive athlete at 170, and I think he can get the job done here. So give me Joey the Hitman Hart. Then we go to the co-main event, which is in the bantamweight division. A lot of bantamweights featured over the course of the weekend, and we get him again on Tuesday. Aaron Tao is plus 155 against Elijah Smith at minus 175. I wasn't all too entirely impressed by Elijah Smith, especially in his last outing. Though he got the finish, I liked Aaron Tao a little bit more in what he's been doing. 8-0, undefeated guy, hasn't lost in the amateur ranks. Elijah Smith, better amateur ranks than his pros. And that gives me a little bit of worry. I think Aaron Tao, he's going to come in hot, and I think he's going to get a win. So give me Tao's me up at plus 155. I got 2 dogs for Tuesday going in from the start fight and the co-main event. And then we made it to the main event. It's in the lightweight division, as Dylan mentioned, with his fellow namesake, Dylan Mantello, the quiet man. He's plus 155, taking on Ahmad S. Hassanzada. And he's minus 165. As much as, I was looking at Mantello, and he's been here to Dana White Contender Series before. We've seen guys take their second trip here and still fall short. And so, unfortunately for the dog, I got to go with the favorite. I got to take Ahmad Esh Hassanzada, the Lion of the Ring. I like that nickname. I think he's ferocious, and he does find a lot of finishes. I'm pretty sure he's only had gone to the judges one time in his victory. So I go with the favorite in the main event. So that'll do it for Dana White's Contender Series, Week 6.
Let's fucking go, kid. Let's get hey, let's go fucking 5-0. What do you say, boys?
That will go 18-10 so far in the year.
Oh my god,
yeah, brother.
Oh, I fucking love it. Let's go, kid. Good luck. Tuesday on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's always nice to have little fights during the week. It gets me going, especially we got going on a hiatus. No UFC this week. But some news before we get you out of here. Joey, you were right. I got to admit, I was foolish into believing that this fight was going to happen. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler will not fight. Chandler's done waiting, which honestly, I think he waited a little too long, if I'm being honest.
I fought 2 years ago, bro.
Yeah, so he said people think they forgot about who Michael Chandler was. Okay, I like that. He got choked out
by Charles Oliveira already.
So what are we talking about? Yeah, I didn't forget, but Michael Chandler will be. It's the co-main event now. Dana White mentioned for UFC 309 November 16th.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's an exciting fight.
Yeah, 100%. But similar outcome is going to happen. I mean, I'm sorry, but
if anything, I don't think that Mike has improved through the time of sitting down.
No,
if that all that time, Charles Oliveira has fought and gotten better. If anything,
I don't know. It's insane to me that you're training for a Conor McGregor. Now you take a Charles Oliveira fight. Totally different. Like, yeah, and granted, you don't got a lot to. It's coming right around. We're almost tomorrow will be 2 months.
Yep.
So we'll see. Headline: John Jones, Stipe Miocic. Finally, hopefully that fucking goes through.
It better.
It better.
And if it doesn't, never have them match up again. It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Have John, if he wants to fight again, fight Tom, or Stipe fight. If whoever's fault is for not having this fight happen, have them pay the price and have the person who's ready to fight someone else. Come on now.
Yeah, I love the picture of John Jones in the cowboy hat and Alex Pereira. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I love when John Anik was like, when they had to announce it, they go, "We love you, Tommy. We love you." Because we know Tom Aspinall's weight, and he will get his shot. I just think they have to do this first.
Yeah, they have to.
But I also like the fight, even though it's a huge favorite. Paul Badger Craig and Bo Nickel. Love this fight.
Official for Madison Square Garden?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
he opened up a minus 2,000 favorite.
I hate to disrespect to Paul Craig, but man, I just believe it. I just think that the wrestling is going to be too strong for him to throw up his submissions. And I know he's got a wicked triangle and he might be bigger, but we just see, man, the striking, though Bo's not the striker. I think he's going to have an advantage in the striking. And if the wrestling is there, he's going to be able to cancel out any of the scrambles or grappling. So, yeah, I think there's a reason that Bo Nickel is the favorite he is, man.
100%. Not too big of a favorite.
I hate to say it because we love Paul Craig, but it's just a matter of fact.
100%. So, yeah, that got announced UFC 309, November 16th in Madison Square Garden. Also, love her, Carolina Kovacevic. She will take on Denise Gomes, UFC 100. I mean, UFC 100, you got to put the stars up there.
UFC Vegas 100?
Yes.
Oh, yes. You got to watch out the power of Denise Gomes. I think she's on a finishing streak right now. So, yeah, she's got to stay away. Obviously, she's got good gas tank. Carolina does. Her goal should be getting into the later rounds and try to win there. Otherwise, might be a short night. Might be a quick night.
Short notice fight for both of these, and a light add to that UFC 307 card in Salt Lake City, October 5th. Nate the Train Landwehr taking on Austin Hubbard.
Look at that bicep.
Ah.
I think it's a good fight for him. You know,
Yeah.
he always brings that dog out. Super entertaining, coming off a massive win. You know, Austin Hubbard hasn't impressed me all too much. So I feel like it could be a great win for Landwehr. I think you get the train rolling, steam rolling again.
100%. But that's all the news I got, kid. No boxing news. Gamecocks, kid, came up short. They punched him in the mouth early, kid.
Yeah, that was rough. I actually didn't find my way over there. It was a little rough heading out, but man, I thought that they would have it. You know, sandstorm. It was the spirits were high, and my man, the shanker, he's shanking right, he's shanking left. He missed another field goal. So,
oh my god,
it hurts to see it, but I think that's what we're gonna get in the college football season. I think we're gonna get a lot of unexpected losses that aren't gonna actually affect them when it come playoff time. So. We'll see. We'll see with this new layout what's to come. We'll see what's going on for the rest of Dana White Contender Series. And you said we're having a week off, but I see. Am I mistaken here? I got UFC.
UFC Paris, the 28th.
Yeah, that's next week.
Is it next?
Oh
week?
no, the
it's
21st.
21st.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not bugging.
You were not wrong. So yes, we do have a week off. Is there anything?
We'll find something. Don't worry. We'll find something.
Stuff for you guys. Come on now.
We'll have something. Whether it's Bad Blood, whether it's a boxing, I don't know what it is.
All right, I'm getting a little heads up. I'm seeing there's PFL MENA, there's Cage Warriors, there's Invicta, LFA, double back-to-back Cage Warriors. Actually, 2 nights in a row, Cage Warriors will be displayed, Octagon, and yeah. So I think some boxing. AJ, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois.
Sold out.
We got some stuff for you guys. We got some stuff lined up.
I love it. Joe, good luck. God bless.
God bless.
And we'll see you guys on Monday.